Check out this cheap 7-inch car display I found on Temu. It's about $50 and the profile is very slim. Here's what's in the box. There's no branding or even a model number I could find. It comes with a 12-volt car charger, some mounting brackets, an auxiliary 3.5mm audio cable, and a video input adapter. This is for a backup camera if you choose to install it. The output of the car charger is strangely labeled as 12 to 24 volts and up to 3 amps. The power jack is not USB, but it's a barrel jack. I hooked it up to my voltmeter and it shows 12 volts. Next to that is the SD card reader, a USB-A port, the camera input, and the auxiliary audio out. There's a built-in speaker in the rear. Let's check out the boot times, as these things get no power when you turn off your car. These are usually slow to boot as it has to go through the entire booting process. That took less than 3 seconds. So let's pair this up. First, pair the phone up with Bluetooth to SWL-BT. The rest of the process is automated. That went pretty smooth. Now let's see how long it takes to boot straight to Android Auto. That's pretty quick for such a low-priced budget device. Here's how it responds to touches and swipes. I would say it's about average. How a phone call sounds like.
Call the Walgreens in Las Vegas.
Okay, calling the nearest Walgreens at 495 Fremont Street.
Thanks for calling Walgreens at the southeast corner of 4th Street and Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Para continuar en español, oprima 9.
And here's how the mic sounds as I record a voice message to myself. This is a test of the voicemail using this cheap Android Auto display. The mic recording sounded very weak and low in volume. I was speaking at where my head would be while I'm in my seat. That's not good. Voice calls using this car display's mic would not sound good to your caller. Now for the native operating system if you're interested in using this as a standalone instead of connecting it to your phone for Android Auto. The system is not Android, but it has a similar feel. It actually feels pretty snappy for this price range. The top bar has the home screen, a back button, the brightness toggle, a volume toggle, and some info. There's a pull-down menu for some shortcuts and a volume slider. If you're inside Android Auto or mirroring, you'll have a floating white dot to get the volume and home key instead. For the home screen, the icons cannot be changed, but the app drawer icons can be moved around. Seems like they got it backwards because to me, I'd like to choose whatever I want on the home screen instead of in the app drawer. But anyways, in the settings, you get to customize it a bit, like turning off the built-in speaker, setting the equalizer, setting the screen brightness, and setting up the wallpaper. You can also set the language, the clock, and date. For the native media player, you can access your SD card or USB drive to play your media without connecting to your phone. Here you get this dual window layout to choose your media, and it's pretty logical and useful for folder navigation if you have it organized. Once the selection is made, it goes to the album art with the media controls. You can get back to the selection screen with this list button on the bottom. There's a folder repeat option and random play. Although random play will mix all the songs from your storage, not just within the folder. You can also play videos or photos stored in your storage using the tabs on the bottom. Here's what they look like. This device does resume the last song playing on reboot, even if you paused it. There's also Bluetooth streaming, phone functions, and the Bluetooth setup, which can only be found here and not in the system settings. If you're interested in hooking up the backup camera, you need to use this adapter. The manual says as long as it gets a video signal, it will switch over to the camera display. You do not need to find the reverse trigger wire to link to where you mount the display, although you still need to run the video wire. Here's how it looks like. I used this car display on a recent road trip and it performed well. Over a 200-mile round trip test, it disconnected from the phone once. It might have been because the battery level of the phone dropped to below 20%. I plugged the phone into the charger and reconnected the car display. It was stable after that. This device boots up fast and responds reasonably well for the price. The only weak point I found was the mic for the phone calls, but I still think it's a good buy.